What's up, guys? This is Breakline Fishing, bringing to you another discussion video today. I'm trying to get into a habit of uploading at least 2 times a week and then 1 or 2 videos during the weekend, just to let you know my new upload pattern. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the disadvantages of fishing kayaks today. I already made a video about the advantages of fishing kayaks, so definitely go check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I'm just going to be going over some of the things that I have found to be some disadvantages to fishing kayaks, especially if you're looking to buy a fishing kayak. Definitely recommend checking out this video and my other one. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so first up on the list of disadvantages is probably going to have to be standability. So basically with the fishing kayak, especially mine, it's a much more skinnier model. It's not as wide as some other fishing kayaks are, but the standability on a lot of fishing kayaks is at best questionable. A lot of fishing kayaks are designed to be stood on, but with the fishing kayak you always risk the possibility of flipping, especially when standing. So you lose all gear, ruins your day of fishing, get cold, get wet, and then in the cold, you actually are in danger of getting hypothermia and has some very serious consequences. So anyway, first disadvantage: standing. If you are looking for a fishing platform where you will feel comfortable standing in and moving around in, we'll probably not recommend a fishing kayak, unless if you want to get like a massive Hobie kayak. But still, fishing kayaks, out of all the fishing platforms, definitely the least sustainable and stable. Moving on to the second one, this kind of has to go with standability, but its size. Fishing kayaks are very small. You can fit only a small amount of gear into a fishing kayak compared to a bass boat or even a john boat. You can't. I don't find it practical to bring more than 7 to 8 rods on a fishing kayak. I don't think there's enough room. With a bass boat, you can bring like 40 rods if you get a new bass boat, and large 20-foot plus boat. You can fit as much stuff as you want. With the fishing kayak, you definitely have to conserve your space. And then, of course, with concern of space, also the weight issue. You can't exceed a weight in the fishing kayak because you're always sitting so low to the water. You don't want to sit any lower to the water. So, size, definitely a big deal when it comes to fishing kayaks. If you are kind of like me and you like to fit all of your gear in a kayak or in your boat, you can't go without all your gear, then I would not recommend a fishing kayak if that's detrimental to you, if you just can't have everything. So size, definitely another disadvantage to fishing kayaks compared to other fishing platforms. Moving on to the next one. Next one's kind of a big one, definitely for me, because I like to fish larger bodies of water. And this is going to be, I'm going to call it speed. So with the fishing kayak, you're basically moving manually. If you don't have a traditional paddle, then you are using some sort of propeller system. A lot of times, you have the pedal system. Some people may have electronic trolling motors, which is great, but you're still moving at a slow speed. You don't have any powerful motor to back you up. And basically, like I was fishing Lake Lake the other day, I couldn't get out of the put-in that I was fishing in. I just couldn't get out onto the main body of water because it was too far away. I mean, it was hard to paddle, and it took too much time out of my day for fishing. So I was confined to that one creek. Couldn't get out onto the main lake. That's a little easier if you have a propeller system, but still speed, definitely a what do you call it, a hindrance or something like that, with fishing kayaks. So anyway, speed, big one. So the next one really plays into size. This is kind of just how comfortable you can be in a fishing kayak. So even though companies like Jackson and Hobie and White Watercraft and all of them, they try to make their fishing kayaks as comfortable as possible for extended periods of time, but in the end, if you're out on the water for a day, you are sitting or standing in your kayak, and you're basically not moving. You have next to zero deck space compared to a bass boat, and it can really get crammed up. You're on very small, very small, vessel in the middle of open water for all day, and it can get very tiresome. It's hard to stretch. It just not having not having the ability to walk around like you do on a bass boat or even a john boat really sucks a lot of times for fishing kayaks. So that's a pretty big disadvantage. And again, I'm just telling this from my own experience. And then I think I have one more that I want to talk about. So the last one, again, I'm just doing this off the top of my head. So the last one is basically, how would you say it? You're very low on the totem pole when you're on any large body of water. You're basically a bicycle on a highway. So bass boats have the upper hand. You are basically at the mercy of bass boats. So in the fishing kayak, of course there's a safety issue with being low in the water. Some people can't see you when they're on a plane. It's kind of dangerous and tedious to cross a large body of water. And basically, if you're putting in a put-in where there's a tournament going on, or there's just a lot of people out fishing for that day, you have to deal with all those bass boats launching, putting out. You have to deal with the wake. You can't expect a bass boat to slow down and let you pass. You're basically at the mercy of a bass boat, which if you're fishing the small ponds or whatever in a kayak, that's not a big deal. But for those of you that like to fish on large bodies of water, like myself, fishing kayak, you do not have the right of way. So that's really my last big one. I'm trying to think of any others. Let me know if you could think of anything in the comments. Just to recap, some of the big ones for me were size, how much gear you can store, speed, and then really comfortability. So how comfortable you are in a kayak versus a bass boat, because I really like having the extra deck space that I do on my bass boat than being cramped up in a kayak all day. Anyway, that was my list of disadvantages. I would still recommend a fishing kayak. If you watch my advantages video, there's a lot of great things about fishing kayaks, and it's a really great community to get into. The fishing kayak community is growing a lot, and it's just fun to interact with other people who have fishing kayaks. And I would seriously recommend one if you are looking for buying one. But if one of those things that I was talking about is very serious for you and very important to you, like you don't think you could stand and fish in a fishing kayak and you need to stand and fish, then don't get a fishing kayak. I mean, they're not for everyone. So anyway, that was my list of disadvantages. Be sure to check out my list of advantages. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'm still doing the giveaway. I'll be announcing the Lucky Tackle Box giveaway probably this weekend. So last chance. Probably do it Saturday or Sunday, depending on how many people have entered it. But yeah, that was my disadvantages kayak video. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. See you in the next video.